Okay, he's a baby. Why is he not with his mother? It always gets me upset, like every time I watch this, because I'm like, every animal deserves to have. Yes, I get emotional about it because I'm not a robot. I'm not a robot. I care. Hey, free woman. So today's video is me responding to Jenna Marbles' latest video, which is her reacting to her favorite TikToks. And just keep this in mind, okay? These are her favorite TikToks. So a little bit of a backstory here. I came to veganism in 2007 via weight loss and via health. But pretty soon after, I educated myself on the ethics of the lifestyle. And I discovered that veganism is all about animals. It's all about animal liberation. And it's not just some cuisine that you can come and go from. So I started my channel as well. I started this channel in 2007 because I was so passionate. I'm like, I gotta get this message out there. And in 2008, I uploaded my first videos, which are no longer on my channel, but they were videos of me riding across Australia over 3,000 kilometers solo on a bicycle to raise awareness for veganism and for animals. And at the time, there wasn't any vegan channels that I knew of. There was no one who was spreading veganism out there, so I just got right into it. And before long, I contacted Jenna Marbles. Well, I made a video and I got in contact with Jenna Marbles because she was one of the biggest YouTubers and still remains so. So it's important to reach those people with this message because they can reach a lot of people. So she saw my videos that I made on her and she was inspired. She didn't take it the wrong way. She was like, I am inspired. And soon after, she became a vegan. And she actually said that it was for ethical reasons, which you can read in these comments that I have on the screen. You can just pause the screen and check them out. So she came to this lifestyle and via my, militant, aggressive approach. So as you can see, she's like, Freelee, I love you so much. I really have the strength to be ethically opposed to eating animal products this time. So read these comments. They are really powerful. So it shows that Jenna is making that ethical connection. But fast forward to this video where she is reacting to her favorite TikToks, and we're going to get into it in a moment. First off, I wanted to show you a little bit of a snippet from this video, this Draw My Life, of a calf from birth to death. But this is just a little section, so let's just quickly watch a little bit of this.
My name is Olivia, and this is my story. I was born 2 years ago in a dark pen. I remember a couple of men watching me as I was taking my first breaths.
Yeah, these are the men. This is a man that you will hear in the video that Jenna is watching too. You will hear him taunting the calf, but we'll get to that soon. So I remember a couple of men were watching me when I was taking my first breath, yeah.
I don't really know my mother. All I remember of her were her beautiful eyes and the way they looked at me.
This always gets me. It always gets me upset. Like every time I watch this, because I'm like, every animal deserves to have life, and deserves, not to be a prisoner, not to be a slave for humans, and to be with their mothers. Obviously, I'm not putting this on, right? I just feel very strongly about it. So all I remember of her were her beautiful eyes and the way she looked at me.
She seemed sad. The men took me away from her after a couple of hours. I remember her crying out.
And these mothers, they will cry out for sometimes weeks, bellowing. You can imagine, if you have your own child, you can imagine your child, your baby, being taken away from you at birth within a few hours. That maternal instinct is very, very strong. It's not just reserved for humans. It's also for non-human animals, of course.
I heard her cries as they were taking me away. The next thing I knew, they were cutting into my ear and attaching an annoying tag to it with a number on it. It hurt so bad. I wanted to run away, but I couldn't move. I live here now, in this stall.
These are the veal containers, the crates, the little cages that these cows are kept in, and we're going to talk more about this until they're 20 weeks old and then they are killed.
My hooves are constantly aching. They gave me a lot of hormone.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you that little bit of a snippet so you get an idea of how the calf got to where he is in this video that Jenna is reacting to. Okay, so you get more of an idea where he came from, because he is a prisoner Okay, he's a prisoner and he is being taken away from his mum. Okay, so now it's time for Jenna to watch one of her favorite TikToks with Julian. So let's check it out.
Really respect it. All right. So before anyone says, I think that I did see the follow up to this, that this cow did pass away, which is really sad. And I don't want to be a bummer, y'all, but he's a really special boy. I really, really like him a lot. It's really sad.
Just take your time.
I find this reaction really strange. Okay, if she's mocking his death. I mean, if you really, really cared, Jenna, if you really cared, why would you post this video? You know that he died. Why would you post this video of this sadistic farmer mocking the calf, mocking a baby, mistreating a baby? It just, to me, it feels really strange for someone who is a 6-year vegan and who said that they're ethical to behave in this way. It really, really disappoints me to start with. And I mean, like, why do you think he died? He has just come into the world. It's because he was killed. He was slaughtered.
Take your time with this one. Be patient. Because nobody out there thinks that you can drink like a normal calf, but we're about to prove them wrong today, right? So just relax.
You know, see, the other calves are getting milk here. You can see they're getting milk and he's holding the milk back. And you can see how skinny, how absolutely skinny this calf is. He is very, very young. Okay, he's a baby. Why is he not with his mother? You know, how can we not ask that question? How can Jenna and Julian not ask that question? Why? Why is he not with his mother right now, suckling on his mother? He is desperately hungry. You can tell he's skinny. He's so skinny. These babies are taken, as you saw in the clip in the Draw My Life, these babies are taken from birth. They are taken within a couple of hours of being born, ripped from their mother, stolen from their mother, and put on some formula with antibiotics in it.
Let's see what happens. Back up real quick, son. Back up. Hey, no. Back up.
This is really disturbing. He's clearly mistreating the calf. He's pushing the calf around. Why do they not see a problem with this? I look at their faces and I do feel like they have some connection here. Like, oh, this does not feel right. I feel like they're feeling that, but it's obviously going over their head because they haven't educated themselves.
All right, calm down.
Look at the way he is mistreating the calf, pushing the calf around. You know, and the way he's speaking to the calf, it creeps me out.
Hey, no, back up. All right, calm down. There it is. God damn it, Chug.
Oh,
You fucking kidding me, bro?
thirsty.
You're too old for this shit.
You know, we see this in these documentaries like Dominion. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it, where these slaughterhouse workers and these farmers will mock the animal because they're so psychologically disturbed by working in jobs like this. And that's what he's doing. They get this kind of sadistic side where they gain some sort of pleasure out of it. And he's also exploiting the cow for this TikTok app.
Look at him.
He's gonna choke.
All right, breathe. Stop it. Breathe. Get your head up.
And his little cow mohawk. Oh.
Like, for me, it just communicates how hungry he is, how absolutely starving, how much he wants his mother's milk. Veal calves are kept in these tiny cages the entire time so they can't turn around because sick humans want to eat their tender flesh, because if they move around too much, they will develop muscle and their meat will be tougher. You know, so that's what they do. They keep them in these cages because they don't want their flesh to get too tough. How sick is this? How sick is the world that we're living in, that we eat babies like this and we keep them in such horrible conditions and we mock them and we ridicule them. And, you know, this is a perfect time for Jenna to educate her audience, to advocate for veganism and say how wrong this is. But instead, she laughs at the cow being mocked and mistreated, and in turn, she teaches her audience how to react when they see a similar situation. That's what Jenna, you have to understand. You're reaching millions and millions of impressionable young minds who just copy your behavior. They do everything you do. So you're making this mistreatment okay. And that's a big problem. It really is.
That's like literally how I have to feed the dogs, or you feed the dogs. You have to like make sure that they're not choking because they just try and inhale it.
Yeah.
Why do you think an animal is inhaling the food? Because they're hungry, okay? And like the fact that Jenna is equating this to her pets, you know, like the calf is a pet. Like some people would say that pets are imprisoned animals as well. There's something in that. But this calf is clearly a prisoner and a slave and is being starved and has been stolen from his mother. He wants his mother. We need to bring this to a human level. You know, you would not feel good if your little brother was stolen away from your mum at birth, or a little boy that you know who was born recently was stolen away from his mum at birth, put in a cage, and then starved of his mother's breast milk. You need to realize this is no different, okay? They feel what we feel. And yes, I get emotional about it because I'm not a robot. I'm not a robot. I care. He is a veal calf and he is going to be killed in around 20 weeks. You know how I feel about Jenna. I like her. This isn't about her personality at all, okay? This is about her actions and her lack of awareness after so long of being vegan, after 6 years. This is just not what a vegan does. It isn't. You know, we educate ourselves on the ethics of the lifestyle because veganism is about animals. It is about liberating animals from this torture, from this entrapment, you know, from being prisoners. This is what we do, you know, this is what we speak up about. You know, it's not just some cuisine, you know, for weight loss or for health. You know, if you come to it via that, okay, that's fine, but educate yourself. And that's why I'm always speaking about the animals on my channel, and I always will.